Do you have an e-com brand but want to test your products or ad creatives internationally? Let's say you have an ad creative that's been doing amazing. So let's not mess with what's working, and all you want to do is translate it. This used to be a challenge. You'd have to hire a new translator and voice actor just to recreate it. But with ChatGPT and 11 Labs, you now have great quality translations paired with great quality voiceovers. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to use them for your ad creatives. Let's go through an example to see what's possible. The first creative we have is one we made for one of our clients. This creative has a voiceover, but the speaker is off camera. This is a more ideal scenario because we don't have to worry about matching someone's mouth movements to the voice. Let's take a look. Okay, so we don't need to go through the whole thing, but you get the idea. There's some action happening on screen, plus a voiceover of someone speaking off camera. So to get started, we take our English script and we translate it to get a script in a different language, in this case, Spanish. And now that we have the Spanish script, we need to create a voiceover in Spanish. To do that, we use 11 Labs. 11 Labs is one of the leaders in text-to-speech, and their voices are the most realistic that we've come across so far. With 11 Labs, you can create a voiceover with one of their pre-made voices. But what's really cool is that you can train your own voice too. This requires you to be on one of their paid plans to have the ability to create these custom voices, but you can get started for $5 with their starter plan. And so if you wanted to train your own voice, you can go to the Voice Labs area, add generative or clone voice, instant voice cloning, and you'll get this menu here. So we can give it a name, so call it test voice, and then you just need to add samples of someone speaking to let their system train on it. And so these files should be free of any background music and just be very crisp and clean so that it doesn't mess up the algorithm as much. And so we can add some files here and just make sure that you have the rights to use them. And then you can add the voice and it will train the voice. So that's that new voice here. Essentially, it's one that we already created. We call it Nina. And so if we want to use this Nina voice, we can hit use, and we can see that the settings here have shown that it's now using the Nina voice. So with the voice settings, you can just leave it as default. And then with the model, you have the option to use monolingual or multilingual. So you're going to want to use multilingual if you're going to be creating voiceovers in other languages. So for example, in Spanish, there's that Spanish there. Otherwise, it's going to sound like accented Spanish if you use the monolingual. So we can take a quick look at what that looks like. So if we were to take maybe the first couple lines of the script and paste it here and generate.
Este limpiador es mejor que un novio. En primer lugar, es confiable. Sé exactamente dónde ha estado porque todos sus ingredientes son éticamente obtenidos y trazables.
And as you can see, that sounds like really accented Spanish. Now, if we take that same script, use the multilingual model, then it will sound like this.
Este limpiador es mejor que un novio. En primer lugar, es confiable. Sé exactamente dónde ha estado, porque todos sus ingredientes son éticamente obtenidos y trazables.
And that sounds way better. I'm not a Spanish speaker, but I can tell that the way the intonations are just sounds a lot more authentic. Obviously, a native Spanish speaker would be able to really tell how that might sound compared to a real person. But from my untrained ears, that sounds way better. If you just want to use the free version, you can still use any of these pre-made voices. So for example, we can take the pre-made Rachel and generate the same thing.
Este limpiador es mejor que un novio. En primer lugar es confiable. Sé exactamente dónde ha estado, porque todos sus ingredientes son éticamente obtenidos y trazables.
And if you're just testing out creating voiceovers in different languages and you don't need to have a specific voice. Any of these pre-made voices will work just fine. And now that you have the voiceovers, you can just take the existing video files and add the voiceover and edit it like you normally would with an English voiceover. And you have a piece of UGC that's in a different language. And here's what that could look like.
Este limpiador es mejor que un novio. En primer lugar, es confiable. Sé exactamente dónde ha estado, porque todos sus ingredientes son éticamente obtenidos y trazables. En segundo lugar, es refrescante. Siempre me voy sintiendo equilibrada porque la baya de goji, el diente de león y el ginseng ayudan.
We'll stop it there, but as you can see, we have a UGC ad translated from our original ad that's now ready for testing in Spanish markets. And it's as simple as that. If you have a limited budget, then translating your ad creatives with ChatGPT and 11 Labs can help you be really scrappy and get your brand out to different markets to see if it's worth further investment. If you're interested in learning more, Andrew and I have a longer discussion on this method, which you can find around here. Thanks for watching this video, and let me know in the comments below if this was helpful.